In the southernmost part of Spain, the Atlantic Ocean meets the Guadalquivir River, the Guadalquivir, or Great River in Arabic. The sand-laden tides, the wind and the waves compete with the mud, which is drawn by the river from the Sierra Morena, resulting in a changing world. Since 1969, this biological universe composed of different environmental complexes has been known as the Doñana National Park, a refuge for migratory fowl from all over Europe. The population in Doñana has always been scarce due to the difficulties imposed by the environment, but even so, man has used this land since antiquity. For centuries, it was an excellent hunting ground for Spanish noblemen, from Alphonse X the Wise, around the year 1262, to King Alphonse XIII. But it was the daughter of the famous Princess of Eboli, Doña Ana Gómez de Mendoza, who retired here to live, and from that moment on these lands came to be known as the Doña Ana Forest. From the earliest time, man has taken advantage of this natural environment to survive, giving way to the development of different arts and trades. Coal merchants, pine seed harvesters, coot egg collectors, and beekeepers have disappeared from Doñana, while others nonetheless remain. Coquina collectors still use a traditional ancient method for collecting these small clams that live in the sand. Walking backwards, they turn the ground over with their feet, uncovering the coquinas, which then get caught in the rake, and the net tied to the fisherman's waist. With the creation of the national park, the hunters of yesteryear have been replaced by visitors who are more respectful of the natural environment. More than 250,000 tourists visit Doñana each year, providing income which is reinvested in the care and conservation of this protected area. The visits take place in park vehicles accompanied by local guides who are experts in Doñana's flora and fauna. The itineraries are restricted and strict conservation rules must be followed. Thus, the impact on the ecosystem is minimized while visitors take full advantage of the visit. There are many different biotopes in Doñana, different areas responsible for the park's changing landscape. This variety of biotopes translates into an increased number of species due to the fact that between one biotope and another, the species coexist. All of this environmental diversity owes its origins to the struggle between the Atlantic Ocean and the lands bathed by the Guadalquivir River. 3 environmental complexes have emerged in Doñana as a result of this millenary conflict: the marshland, the thicket or system of fossil dunes, and this, which covers the beach and the system of mobile dunes. The tides carry sand and shells to the beach, pushed inward by ocean winds. When the sand meets up with a plant, a dune begins to be formed. The buried plant then dies, and the dune begins to move inward. The movable dunes form dune ropes or trains, which move between 5 and 6 meters every year, in a direction perpendicular to the coastline. Between 2 trains of dunes, corrals appear as vegetation oases in this sandy world. The small patches of pine help to keep some animals present in this apparent desert. Further on, among the white sand of the dunes, an arid world emerges where it seems that life no longer exists, and yet looks.